You're already smiling and laughing. There we go. Hello, everyone. We're laughing while it's the wheel of death is spinning, and we're like, are we going live? Are we not going live?
Thank you. That is probably one of the things that drives me crazy the most about doing lives is because I push start and then it has the wheel of death and I'm like,
yeah. And you're like, and you're waiting, and then sometimes you start talking, only it's actually not actually live yet. It's something else. I'm just gonna say, for those of us that do this on a regular basis, you're like, well, I just roll with it. Whatever happens, happens. So, hey, everyone. I am Jen with Laughing Lotus Wellness, Midlife Revolution Coach. This is my dear and one of my very bestie friends ever, Laurel Huston. So excited to have her here. Today, we're going to be talking midlife confession. I'm going to be honest. Last week was kind of, so this week I was like, you know what? Today, we're going to have some fun. We're not going to do anything that's too heavy or meaty. We're going to just kind of lean in. So if you are joining us, please say, hey, and also feel free. I lied. I'm not lying. I want to be able to see, there we go, your comments. I was going to go full screen, but I can't. I was like to see Laurel's face bigger, but I can't. So I'm going to monitor over here. If you're here, say, hey, come in and join us. Laurel, do you want to, I will introduce myself and then I'm going to let you introduce you in a second. For those of you that don't know us, some of you have probably already seen us around. So as I introduce myself, Jen, founder and owner of Laughing Lotus Wellness, Midlife Revolution Coach. What I really do is help women get clarity around their purpose, their kind of empowerment in this mid-season of life. I really think that we're shifting from a space of midlife crisis to midlife awakening. So it is my passion and mission to actually elevate women out of that old mind space, condition kind of BS, and really help you live a fully empowered and exciting, passionate life in midlife, kind of doing it on your own terms. That's really what I love helping women do. I do that using my psychological background in clinical social work for over 20 years. I was a clinical social worker providing psychotherapy. And then I'm certified in numerous healing modalities that it's all in the mix. And that's how I do my coaching. So I do coaching and then I do some mentoring. So kind of combined depending on the person and what their needs are, that is how I show up. I'm also going to be hosting a retreat and workshops. So there's things coming up that way. So that's me. Laurel and I met in a networking community. We got really, really blessed to put together as a match, which was hilarious. We didn't know we were dating, but we were. Hello, lovely, whoever you are. Say, hey, let us know who you are. I'm super sorry. It will not tell us your name. Always see as Facebook user. So we're like, you person commenting, really sorry. So I feel really like I just drew the best kind of straw when I was able to connect with her. And we instantly fell in love with each other. We sort of joked that for a while we felt like we were dating. It was like, is it too soon to send her another message? Will I look weird? This is Midlife Confession. See, we're going to get to this stuff. So Laurel, I thank you so much for being here. And please introduce yourself to everyone who's joining us and let them know who you are, where you're coming from, and what you do.
Perfect. Okay. So like she said, my name is Laurel Huston. I am the Divine Feminine Enchantress. I started my company Reflections Inside and Out in 2012. So just over a decade ago. And my whole point in creating that company was because I really wanted to help women learn to love who they were inside and out. I started my career as a 17-year-old, getting my cosmetology license while still in high school. And so the hard part about that was that as a 17-year-old, my biggest worry was like, is anybody going to ask me to prom? And because I was touching people and I was messing with their hair and I was in their space, everyone told me everything about their lives. And I can remember there was a woman who was talking about her husband cheating on her. And I was like, well, I've never had a boyfriend, so I don't really know how to help you with this, but I'm really sad that he doesn't appreciate you more. Like,
exactly.
No idea what to say to him. So, and the reason I'm sharing this is because I feel like along my whole journey, the theme has been, I very easily love people quickly. And it baffles me that I'm like, why don't you like yourself? I like you. Why don't you like you? So when I chose to create my company, I wanted it to be Reflections Inside and Out because I was like, I want you to see what others see. I want you to see how much love they have for you, not just on the outside, but on the inside too. And during all of that, I created a modality called body mapping. And I love doing body mapping because the short version of it is you look the way you look for a reason. And I teach women this because, and we'll talk about this, I think we'll go here for a minute in this live, is that people tell you to love your body and to heal your body through self-love. And you're like, does that mean all of my body?
What does that mean?
Because I really love my eyes and my smile. In fact, I've done thousands of presentations, worked literally with thousands of women. And I used to do a survey and be like, what are your 3 favorite things about your body? Number 1, eyes. Number 2, smile. Not teeth. A smile is an action. It's not actually a feature. Yeah. That would be your lips and your teeth. And yet that was everyone's number 2. I love my smile.
Yep.
And then number 3 was hit or miss between women either loved their breasts or hate their breasts. And then, or like their hands. That was another one.
Okay.
But then if I would say, what are the 3 things about your body that you want to change? My belly, my thighs, and then either my butt or my boobs. So this was something that I was like, but don't you know what they mean? So I loved to teach women how to change their perception about their body. And that is a big part of what I do is I work with relationships. What's your relationship with your body and your health? What's your relationship with your money and how you feel about whether or not you have value? What's your relationship with other people and with intimacy? So when Jen and I first met, she was like, what do you talk about? And I said, well, I teach people about body, sex, and money. What do you do?
Energy, goddess, purpose, divine feminine, which instantly was like, yeah, it was a really easy conversation. Let's just put it that way. No, I love that. And it's so true for me too. I really appreciate that you and I overlap in that relationship piece. Like, how am I relating to all the things in my life? I think that's so beautiful. And so what a really cool, first of all, body mapping is freaking amazing. And so it's a really powerful thing. And it links into some of the things that we're actually offering in Redefining Midlife Mastery course, which is already going on this week. We're going to speak about that at the end. So actually hang with us because you can still sign up. We'll talk about it in a minute. But I love that she talked about this because a piece of what Laurel talks about in our program, which I believe will be next week. So 1 is money mindset still this week. And then 2, next week, you talk about intimacy. Yes?
Yes.
So good. So don't miss out on this. So this is why Laurel and I were just literally like instantaneously like talking all things energy, talking things divine feminine, got all of that. That's just something that she and I definitely like instantly like connected on. And also her integrity. I'll be honest. I mean, one of the things that she and I may talk about today was a conversation that we had about shifting some things around a retreat we're hosting. And it's a really beautiful example of our friendship. Like in our relationship. And I was like, do we want to talk about it? She's like, yes. So we may circle back to that today and share that.
Well, and this is why, because so Jen, when she messaged me, she's like, hey, do you want to come in my group and just chat for a minute? And I was like, yes, our conversations are hilarious. People want to listen in on our conversations.
People want to hear this.
So people want to hear what we have to say. It really is funny. But it was more that I was like, you know what? That is totally a part of redefining midlife because I don't know very many people right now who still have the same friends that they had in their early 30s, in their 20s. And if they do still have a friendship with them, it's either very distant or you have grown together. Exactly. And so one of the things that as I was talking with Jen and I was sharing, I said, you know, I've been terrified to have this conversation with you because up until like the last year and a half, I have allowed people in my life that use me. And I'm having to relearn that, nope, those aren't the quality of people that I attract anymore. The quality of people that come into my life at this midway point is you either like me for who I am or you don't. And with light and love, there's the door. But thanks for coming. Thanks for leaving. Come again when you can't stay so long.
See ya.
And so it was beautiful because we had this interaction and it reminded me that I don't have to have people in my life anymore that suck.
No, it's honestly so true. I think it's such a pivotal piece of midlife for me too, is getting really in alignment, like really tucking in the boundaries about who's on my island. My island's actually really small. And this is going to make me sound like such a jerk face, but it's fine. I'm going to be completely transparent. My island's very small. With that being said, I love a lot of people. I don't mean I don't have expansive space to love people because I love a shit ton of human beings. And the people that are really kind of tucked in and real close to me is kind of small because I actually really want to take care of them. So I value closer, tighter knit so that I can actually really value your time and love you up, right? One of the things that I think Laurel and I both experienced is sometimes being in business relationships with people who struggle to not compete or struggle to not take your content, right? Or show up and it's like, cool, I'm going to use your platform. Thanks. And I think that one of the things that Laurel and I do that is, for me, it's spectacular. Somebody else listening might be like, well, I think it's spectacular. Is I really, when she said, I need to do something to help my business financially for this section of time, I was like, cool, then we're doing that. I celebrate her, love her. And to me, celebrate her success, make sure that she is taken care of, make sure that she feels seen and heard and validated and important in my life. And also her business that I hold space with. I celebrate what Laurel brings to the table, because while Laurel and I have a lot of overlap, we are not the same person. We don't deliver content the same way. We are really fun together. Like, I love when we present things together. I'm going to be completely honest, but I actually think what's really beautiful is celebrating the parts of her that are different than me, enjoying, honoring the parts where we overlap. And so to me, that is the difference in midlife. I don't want relationships with people where I'm competing with you.
Yep.
I'm not interested in that. And blessed, namaste, if that's your jam. Cool. You're not for me. That's fine. This is a part of.
But let's be honest, Jen.
Yeah.
Who actually is competitive by nature? I don't believe, especially in women, that is true. I think we are taught to be competitive, and I think that we are taught to go into comparison.
Yeah.
Because, and so when you were like, oh, I think that if that's who you are, I don't think that's who anyone is. I think that we have been, we've had that experience.
Yes.
Where we went into it with love and kindness. Yes. And so we assumed everyone else did too.
Yes.
And then she stole your crush. Whatever. It's fine.
That's exactly. And you're right. And maybe let me say it this way, because you're right. And I'm glad you said that. I think if that's where you are in this moment,
then we still love you.
We still love you. Bless you. Namaste. See you later on the flip side. And so to me, yesterday, Laurel came in, let's finish the story because now we're on it. And she was a little anxious to tell me that, like, we had a retreat date. We had a couple of fumbles. She had something come up for a date. I had something come up for a date. And it was like, oh, so she's nervous. She comes in, she's like, how's Jen going to take this? And what's she going to think? And I'm like, then we're doing what you need to do. If you think about having a retreat in the fall and you can't breathe, that's your body telling you it's not the right solution. Let's shift gears. By the time we're done, we have a complete layout planned. We've completely reformulated.
We found a better venue.
We found a better venue. It was so many things lined up. And part of that is Laurel and I, synchronicity. It's all the parts. But I really wanted to just say, this is a difference. She is such a beautiful example for me of midlife friendship and connection, and hosting space with someone that you fully respect and honor who they are, where they are. I can celebrate and support her business and still be okay doing my thing. We can hold space for each other. Like, I love if people follow her and want to work with her. I think that's beautiful, and vice versa. I just feel like we're both very, like, we're here. We're going to unlearn the garbage we've learned before, conditioned to be in a space of mindset wise. We're going to shift that. We're going to do something different. And we really honor and hold space for that. And so I thought it was a really, really beautiful conversation, just because it was kind of anxiety provoking, and it ended up working out so beautifully. And so to me, this is what I'm here for. So it's a great example of a midlife change for me. I would not have had the same conversation she and I had yesterday, probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know that I would have had that same conversation the same way twice, which I think is beautiful.
Well, and that was actually one of the things that I told Jen is, thank you for being the type of person that I can finally show up without having to hide anything. Like, I flat out said, Jen, I'm really nervous about saying this, and I don't know how you're going to take it, but I still feel like I have to share it. And here's the difference. I had to talk to my son about this the other day. So I heard him with one of his friends, and I heard him start out with this phrase, and you'll all know this phrase because you've all said it 1,000 times. Not to be offensive, but not to be rude.
Nothing good.
But I hope this doesn't hurt your feelings, but
I'm going to tell you something, wretched. Prepare yourself and put your seatbelt on.
Yep. I said to my son, I was like, oh, I don't even know what you're going to say to your friend next, but hold up right there. If you have to preface with what you're about to say with, I hope this doesn't hurt your feelings, but you know it's going to hurt their feelings, and you're trying to put the blame on them. I'm like, my 8-year-old is gaslighting his friend. What the hell?
I don't think he's quite that advanced to think that way, but yeah, it's a really good early lesson. I love that so much.
And then I had to go, yeah. So he was like, no offense, but, and I was like, hold up. You just hold your little butt right there.
Yep. Let's back that up.
And so the difference in the conversation I had with Jen, it wasn't, I hope that this doesn't hurt your feelings, but it was, you are valuable enough to me that I am worried about what this will do for you, because I know that you've been planning on things and you've set your calendar. And it was I was genuinely worried and concerned about what this was going to do to her. And so I do think that it is, I do think that it's important to recognize that as we are having these intense conversations, we're not starting them out with, no offense, but you're about to be offended.
Exactly.
Versus I'm hoping that this isn't a heavy conversation, but it might be. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Anna, no, he's too sensitive. He should never add the but.
Teaching good parenting right out the gate. I love Laurel's parenting. We should hear more stories. I'm always like, damn, Laurel, where were you when I was raising Chloe? I'm serious. She's seriously a master at it. But exactly, I think it's so true. And I think one of the things that really touches me about who you are, this is like totally a Jen and Laurel show. I swear to God, we will be talking about something funny in a minute. But I think some people are like, oh my God, just have your woman crush off camera. But I think what the thing is that you started out being so accountable to that and being really, really clear about where you were feeling emotionally. And really authentic and transparent and vulnerable about, like, this is how I started today. I was really concerned. I was talking to my husband about this. I'm really, really, really concerned. And so I was like, yeah, like I love what you are trying to get at here with this piece of, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That for me, that accountability, transparency, and vulnerability are some of the key foundations of how you and I connect. And to me, starting out a conversation straight up that way is so, so beautiful. And that was where I was like, and then we dropped right in. I don't know how to explain it better than that. I just want to say that I do think that this is a midlife friendship and business complete shift. For me, a definite learning from an unlearning. So I had to unlearn and then relearn. And to me, I'm just grateful that you're one of the most beautiful people that I actually get to practice all of this with. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so let's do some funniness. Now, did you bring any questions? Because I did.
Yes.
Okay.
So first, this was, Jen was like, what do you want to talk about tomorrow? And she gave me all these ideas. And then she's like, what about midlife confessionals? And I was like, confessionals.
We're here for it.
Because one of my biggest things is that I've always been the person that says what everyone else is thinking, and people are grateful for it. And so for me, I'm like, there is a lot of value in someone saying what everyone is thinking, but no one dares say.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Nope. That's kind of part of my jam is, I just love being really honest about the stuff, the transparency. Like, to me, we're all going through this. And so there's something, and I've always been wired this way my entire life. Let's just take a laugh at our humanity. I'm sorry. To me, in my family, it's like this, and we'll get there. It's like my sister's at a holiday. Oh my God, I hate eggnog. Someone takes a drink, goes, oh my God, this tastes like shit. Drink it. This is what we do. Why are we doing it? And we look and we're in the kitchen, the three of us. And I'm like, why are we all tasting something nobody's enjoying? What are we doing? So to me, I've always been like, I love harnessing just energy around the humanity of it. It isn't laughing at someone. It's like just laughing at ourselves and making that loose and easy. Because to me, that is like a spoonful of sugar with the things that we're trying to deal with. And so that is always like kind of my jam. So let's just add some lightness to our journey here, right? So do you have a question, or do you want me to start with one?
You start.
Oh boy. Okay.
I gotta see which direction you want this to go before I give you my question.
Okay. All right. What midlife thing do you do now that you swore you'd never do or could imagine doing?
Oh, what do I do now that I swore I would never do or could imagine doing?
And feel free, by the way, our fellow listeners, if you're here hanging out with us,
add your stories too.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're here, add your whatever you have that, like, what am I doing in midlife or almost midlife?
Okay.
That I swore I was not going to do.
So this isn't necessarily funny, but it's very honest. Disconnecting so much from my family.
Okay.
Because I grew up, and I literally have heard this my whole life. Friends come and go, but family is forever.
Yeah.
Because we moved, we moved a lot.
Yeah.
We moved a lot growing up. And the first time that I was like in junior high and my parents told us that we were moving, and I was like, well, we're moving, but these are going to be my friends forever.
Exactly.
And I was heartbroken. And now as I've gotten older, first off, I'm the youngest. So my oldest sibling is 12 years older than me. So he is in a totally different phase of life. And so like he has grandkids, all of that kind of stuff. And the thing that I thought I would never do, I never thought that I would be the person that gave up being the party planner.
Right.
But for me, I was like, I'm going to hold this family together. It's my responsibility. And then one day I went, I don't want to plan Thanksgiving. Guess we're not having it. And then 2 days before Thanksgiving, everyone's messaging me and they're like, so Laurel, what do you need me to bring to Thanksgiving for your house? And I'm like, you're coming to my house. Why are you coming to my house? I didn't invite you for
I'm not doing that. Exactly.
So it was, it was recognizing and then deciding whether or not I wanted to continue to be the person that held my family together.
Oh, that's huge.
And there are some things that I'm like, nope, like I'm doing my own thing for Easter this year. So I guess if I were to pare it down, the thing that I did was I said, I get to have my own holidays.
Yep. Huge.
And I never thought I would do that. I thought that I would maintain the family traditions. I would drink the eggnog, even though everyone was like, this eggnog sucks, drink it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, nope. I still have young kids. I'm the only one in the family that still has young kids. So we're going to do our own family Easter thing. And if you don't want to come and hunt Easter eggs, then don't.
Yep. I love that. I think that deciding piece, and this is like, and I'm going to actually, it's funny, I think we're going to talk about permission today in our podcast later today with my friend Sue. There's a lot of this that goes on, permission giving to yourself and others, but also knowing when you don't have to give permission anymore. So I think it's going to be a really beautiful conversation, but I think this is that same idea is like, I get to decide, I get to change, I get to decide, and I get to give myself permission to shift in a way that feels good and congruent to myself and my journey. And that I think again comes with time. I've done that much better from probably the age 40 on. And as I age, it just continues to get more and more and more. Whoever said, thank you, I opt out of family meetings. Whoever you are, praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. So I love that Laurel takes us somewhere really deep and thoughtful. And trust me, some of my answers, I know I'm like trying to make this funny. And I'm like, oh, mine's kind of serious. Here's mine. Ready? Bird watching. Oh my God. Literally. What do you do in midlife? You're like, I am never going to be that person. A bird watching. I'm like, next up, coin collecting. God knows, right? But nope, sure enough, there I am in my window with which I've been doing for years, right? I've got my book out there and I'm like, is it a nuthatch? Is it a blah, blah, blah? I'm like completely fascinated. So I'm a total bird nerd. And I literally love them. And it literally does mean I have a little 80, 90-year-old in my soul, but I'm totally here for it. And I'm not trying to be offensive to any 80 or 90-year-olds. That's definitely a thing. I think I was like, I will not be that person. Sure enough.
See, I don't have any of those kind of things because I've been a grandma in training since I was like 9. I already know how to crochet. I already know how to embroider.
You skip over the
I've sewn my own clothes before.
Oh my God, I love it.
I've had a hummingbird feeder my whole, like, no matter where we live, we have a hummingbird feeder. So I'm just, I tell people, like, in college, I was the girl that was like, oh, it's 9:30. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to bed. And people are like, hey, grandma. I'm like, I'm totally in training and I cannot wait till I get married and it's socially acceptable for me to go to bed at 9:30 again.
Exactly. I can slide right into that. Yeah, for me, who's the plant lady? Who's the crazy plant lady? I freaking love that. Who's that? I know Rachel's one, but I don't know if that's Rachel or not. But who's the crazy plant lady? Me too, Laurel. I love to knit. You guys, I wish your names were on here. Forgive me, literally.
I'm going to pull up Facebook and see if on the
Thank
Facebook
you. I'm like,
comments.
oh my God, so annoying because all I see is Facebook and I feel is super bad. I can't like, oh, thank you so-and-so for saying that. Right. So some of us just had like old souls, but yeah. So like midlife, I think is like, you know, for me, like we always laugh, my friends, Abby. Okay, good. So when we like go out, I'm hungover from staying up late. I know Laurel's not a drinker, but I am. And like, I can stay up till 1 and pay for it for 3 days. I'm like, what in the hell has happened? So embracing those changes in our journey, like, you know, what I once used to be like, we got to go out and do this, and this, and like have this really like, you know, lofty kind of social engagement and social life, things like that. I'm like, I'm cool staying. People are like, what are you doing this again? Like nothing. They're like, oh, I'm like, oh no, you don't get me. I am thrilled I have nothing going on this weekend. Do you even understand? So it's funny that I think what you value and what you lean into is different for everybody. It's like just what, like, so, you know, who I was in my 20s and 30s has drastically shifted. And Laurel's in a state too of raising kids. I mean, you are in the heat of raising children. It's not like you're like, hey, I'm ready to launch. No, like I've launched, you're still actively in the parenting piece. So we're in different places that way, even different, a kind of different form of season of midlife. But I know that we've had some of those same experiences where it's like that. It's like, oh no, I'm going to bed at 9:30 or 10. I'm good. Peace out. I don't need to stay up late to impress anybody. Right? No, thanks. I'll just look like death's door for 3 days if I stay up super late. So it's not cute or impressive. So yes.
So I looked at the chats on
thank you.
Facebook, and there's none. So they're not showing up.
Oh, so
I could be doing something wrong. Anyways, so it's Abby and Kayla.
Thank you. Hey, ladies. So glad you're here. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Here's my question for you.
Oh, good. Oh, okay.
What is the thing that in your 20s and 30s you did and regretted, but now in midlife you wish you could do again?
Oh my God, that's so deep. Okay. I did it in my 20s or 30s. I regretted it, but now in my 40s, I wish I could do it again.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
See, mine's funny. That's why I'm like,
okay, start with yours. Cause I'm like, oh my God, like my brain just went, I'm like, that's so big. Okay, tell me yours.
So in my 20s, I used to go clubbing all the time. Like we would go dancing. Wednesday night was ladies' night. Thursday night was, I think it was just like college night. And then we didn't go on Friday because Friday was gay night. And then Saturday was just regular like clubbing, but it was really, really full. So I was clubbing 3 nights a week. And I loved dancing. And I was so confident. I had no body shame. Like I just went and I danced, and like guys would try to dance with me and I'd be like, no, not for touching. So it wasn't even like, hey, I get all this attention. It was like, no, I just really, really love to dance.
Yeah.
And I could dance for hours.
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm 40 plus, and all of a sudden I can't remember my age. And
this also happens. Yes.
And at the last retreat, we were dancing for like 2 hours, and I was like, and I'm done. Yeah. And I have soreness in places I didn't even know I could have soreness. And I peed my pants because I was jumping.
Yep.
And and so I was like, I did not value that I had the stamina and the flexibility and the joints. They actually allowed me to go dancing, clubbing, and it wasn't to get attention. It wasn't to get guys. It was just, I love doing this thing, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah.
And so now, like, if someone were to be like, come to Vegas, let's go clubbing, I'd be like, why? And because, you know, that's what you're socially acceptable to do. And yet there's part of me that's like, I'll go get my heels.
Oh, I would totally do it. You don't have to ask me twice. I would be exhausted, but I would totally do it. But
I would totally be the 40-year-old that's like, just doing my own thing. And people would be like, why is that old woman here?
Yeah. Let me tell you a quick Vegas story dancing while we're here, because it's priceless. It's going to get awkward for a couple minutes, so everyone put your seatbelts on. Somebody said they can't say what their story was. I wish you would. Just saying. Anyway, the thing you regretted in 20s and 30s, and now you wish you do in your 40s. So for my 40th birthday, this is why it's relevant, I decide we're going to go to Vegas. So my sisters go, one of my best friends goes. So it's like a group of like 6 or 7 of us. And I want to go out dancing because I internally, my 20-year-old. Okay, so we're going to go dancing. And my friend and I get separated from the group. And there's these young men, and my friend is very busty. She's just beautiful, but she's taller, way taller than I am, and she's busty. And one of the guys is dancing with her. His face is like literally, he is loving life. His face is 6 inches from her chest. And he is just like, hell yes. I have a guy behind me. I don't even know who he is. And he's like, sort of dry humping me on the dance floor. So I'm going to my friend, he's thrusting. And I'm like making eyes and like someone come rescue me from this guy. Like, it was like, well, it has been a minute. I have forgotten what this journey was like. And we are crying. I'm like, what is even happening? Clearly, I've gone over the hill here. crying. I'm like, oh my God, one of my favorite memories was the night out dancing. But it was a freaking blast. And you just, again, it's like, you have to go like that mindset, like, look, it is what it is. I loved it. I'm with you. I love dancing. It is one of my favorite things ever. And I will still hella go do it. I'm like totally here for it. But I will tell you, I might need breaks and a lot of water.
Exactly. I'm like,
I need breaks, a lot of water, and an extra pair of shoes to get back to where I go so that my poor sad feet in my high heels don't die.
Yep. Maybe some Depends.
I will put a pad in. It's fine. I can do hard things. I get it.
So that I think is one of the reasons why I loved it so much in my 20s, because I was so ignorant and I was so innocent, and I was
absolutely.
like, did not get it, did not understand. So then the other funny part is that it's like, I can still basically do the same moves that I did as a 20-year-old, but I was 80 pounds thinner, so they looked better.
They had a little different vibe.
Well, and that was what I thought in my head. So then I got home and I did like a body roll the other day, and I was like, ooh, I actually have waves on my body now. My body roll's even better than it was before.
Look at that. Hey.
I was like, oh, that extra's helping the wave.
Oh my God, I love it so much. Yeah, no, that's so good. Stamina is a good one, because when I talked about being tired from staying up late, I'm like, I think I do miss that youthfulness. Like, I can do the things. And I used to be a super night owl, like I like loved being up late beyond everybody else, like having my own time. No can do. I've definitely changed to more of a morning person, I would say. I think I wish, mine's more serious. Sorry, everybody. I know, right? I wish I had an appreciation for my body the way that it was that I have now. I can love myself and my body much more as a 48-year-old woman than I did when I was 20 and 30. I don't think I honored or appreciated it the way that it was in its form. And it's one of those things that, and I almost know almost everybody here is going to say this. Do you not look back at pictures of yourself and like, why was I not loving that? What the hell was I thinking that I wasn't just vibing that up when I was like, oh, I don't look right in my pants or my shirt, but then my skirt, whatever it was that we were self-conscious about. And somehow we look back and we're like, what the hell was I thinking? What? I was like half a person. What the hell? So, I mean, to me, it's more that it's like that insight of like really being able to hone in and honor the body that you're in when you're in it. And I think now I finally at 48, but I'm like, God dang it. Why? I wish I had done that at those stages of life. And it's not that I'm saying that I think you needed to stay thinner or you needed to do any of those things, but it's like, it's just a very different mindset for me here that I wish I'd had that insight. And you don't know what you don't know, but I'm just like, when I hear young women complain, I'm like, oh, love what's happening right now. Like, I'm like, this is me. I'm just like, lean into this is beautiful and gorgeous. You're beautiful and gorgeous at every single stage, but really honor and just like experience and appreciate the body that you're walking around in, because it is fully beautiful. So, because that was something, and if I could remember who said it, I would totally give them credit. This was not my original thought. Okay. But she said, if people taught me that I would have a mother body after my maiden body, I would learn to love my mother body. But I wasn't taught that I would have a mother body. I was taught to only love a maiden body. But once you have a mother body, you won't have a maiden body. Even if you get fit, you're still going to have stretch marks you didn't have. Even if you whether you had natural birth or C-section, there's scars, there's stretching. And she's like, we need to teach men and women to love a mother body just as much as they love a maiden body. Absolutely. And I was like, but I never even heard, and it wasn't even necessarily what she said, but the fact that she actually named it. It was like, yes, you had a maiden body and now you have a mother body. Can you love? And I was like, okay, I can love my mother body in a way that I never loved my maiden body. Absolutely. And that's what I think I'm saying. And that's what I wish for other women. It's like, no, love the body you're in. I don't care what age you're in. Like, just really appreciate that, because that will come and go. And you're still beautiful in every single form. But holding space, and it took me a really long time to get my head around that. Ooh, I mean, a really long time. And it doesn't mean I don't have moments where I'm insecure, self-conscious. I do. I'm human, but I do think I have a much more well-rounded version and mindset about loving my body in its form in this minute than I ever did in my life. And that took 48 years. Not bragging. Do you know what the injustice of this is, though? Please tell me. Because in my mind, I hadn't changed size in like 25 years. Because clothing keeps changing sizes. I still wear a 12, 80 pounds heavier than I was.
still miraculously in a size 12.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Isn't it weird? It is super strange. I don't know. I was trying some things on yesterday. I was like, my arms don't move in this. It was super funny. She's like, oh, that's a non-giving shirt. And I gave you the wrong size. I was like, my arm like made it part with her. I'm like, doing this whole, what is happening right now? She's laughing. She's like, I gave you the wrong size. It's all good. I'm like, I mean, not that, whatever. But it was,
you're like,
and that's, yeah, I was really like stuck. I'm like, well, this is not going home with me for sure. Cause this is not functional. But yeah, exactly. So the body, I think, so I know that's not funny, but that's me being completely honest. Just being real.
So can I share your shirt story reminded me of this. So I had a the material was like a non-give material and I put it on just fine. I wore it. It was totally fine. But then I went to take it off. And you know, like with a lot of shirts, you can like move your arms and whatever. And I was like, it won't, like, I couldn't get it past here-ish. I was like, it won't stretch. And I was like, sweetheart, I can't get my shirt off. And I literally had to go like this.
Yep.
And then he had to pull it off of my body.
Yes. If you're catching the replay, 1, let us know. And 2, have you done this? I've totally done this. Let me tell you something. It is Satan's work to make midlife women clothing that does not have stretch in it because you have not lived. There have been minutes where I have been changing and I've been in a hurry. Usually it's like if I'm doing vlogs, other like recording events, whatever. And I'm like
your clothes.
Stuck. I'm having this minute where I'm like, oh my God, it's halfway on. It's halfway off. I look like a T-Rex. The hands are up here. Do I need scissors? Am I going to have to cut it off my person? I will cut it off if it does not come off soon. Like complete panic. I'm like, help! So yeah, I've had to do the whole shimmy out of the shirt because it will not come off my person. Yep. This is not how clothes were meant to be. That's all I'm saying. Yes. And I'm here for that, what you just said. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, what's your next question?
Been there. Someone else has been there. Okay, ready? Here's mine. Oh, such a good one. Okay. I was going to ask you about the most embarrassing thing. We're not going to do that today. That's not fair. We'll come back around to that sucker. Let's do, I love this. Okay, either you can do one of two. What are you most tired of in midlife? Which might kind of end up in a rant, which is okay. I'm cool with that. But one of my favorites is what's a midlife self-care fail? You try. I have a great one, but if you have a good one, I want you to roll it. But mine is like hilarious. So one of those two. If one resonates for you, let's roll with whichever you like.
Give your midlife fail while I think of mine.
Oh Jesus. Okay. So so for a minute, I was offering yoga and I was offering some of my healing services at a small healing facility in the cities. And one of the things they offered that is kind of their thing is colonics. Now I heard of colonics. Okay, shit's about to get real, get it? Okay, so if I'm going to be there, I want to help advertise for these people, right? So I'm like, okay, the nice thing is always to like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, etc. So I'm like, well, I really want to support these people. So if I'm a big believer is as much as possible, if I can go experience something before a client and I can explain it and talk you through it, you'll know what the journey is. And I always like paving the path for my clients that way. So if I'm going to send someone to do this, I better go try it. I'm watching videos. People are like, it's cathartic. It changed my whole life. It was, mind-blowing spiritual experience. Okay. So I go to do my colonic day and I go in and so it's in the facility that I work in, but I've never been in the room and whatever. All I'm going to say is I'm laying in there and I love, this is my jam. And I can't, if you love colonics out there and you're listening, nama effing stay. If this is your jam, blessings, love and light for you. I'm sitting there, spa music's playing. I'm shitting myself into a tub. There's the piece of gum I swallowed in the 3rd grade. I'm pretty sure that every single thing I ever ate, ever, including shit my parents probably told me not to, is literally going down this drain. And I'm trying to be like, I get it. This is supposed to be so good for me. Let me tell you something. I'm in a row. There's nothing relaxing about this. I'm going to be honest with you. If someone has a spiritual experience of doing this, my version is that the only spiritual part of it was feeling like I was having an exorcism of my and and this is to boot. This is my favorite part of this whole story. So it's so but okay, I'm fine. I'm not like creeped out. I mean, it's not my favorite, but I'm not creeped out. It's like, this is a body thing, whatever. I mean, I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty flexible, but I'm like, this is certainly not relaxing. Don't bother with the spa music. I feel like maybe a little like rage music might have been better, but anyway. So finally I'm laying there. She comes in the room to check on me. Some of her services she does in the room the whole time with someone. Oh, hell no. She goes, for the first time, I feel like maybe you want to do what you're on. Yeah, uh-huh. Someone says all I need for that experience is one box of grocery store cookies. or that. I would just try a Colace or whatever. You do you from the privacy of your own home. So I'm laying there in this spa robe, spa music playing. She's coming in and she's talking to me. And I'm like, and I'm doing this, and now I can't let anything out because you're talking to me. It's like there's a place in my brain. I'm like, it's like pooping your pants in front of another person. I know her intention is for me to shit my pants. I understand. I'm like talking to her, holding it in, please leave. And she goes, this is her. She goes, so whenever you think you're done, time is almost done. She leaves. Bye. I'm not kidding. I was off that thing. Of course, I had to release whatever I had released because I was like holding on to it while she was talking to me. I'm like, do not have a conversation with me while I'm shitting my pants. Could you please not make eye contact with me? And made me think of all of our poor dogs that go out in the yard and are like looking at you while they're trying to take a dump. I was like, I'm sorry, puppies. Yeah, that was my poop experience. So colonics, bless you, namaste, if it's your thing. It is definitely not never know how, not on purpose, going to go down again. I don't know how it accidentally happened. I'm going to try not to ever have that experience again. Now you.
I will answer your question, but I want to share this because I actually had a doctor that was trying to help me with my insulin, whatever. And she gives me, and this is kind of a this is the reason I'm telling this. Look into this. So there's this really cool wonder weight loss shot that's going around right now called semaglutide. And then they're like, that's what the actual chemical is, but it has like branded names. It's what Kim Kardashian did to get into the Marilyn Monroe dress that she ruined.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So my doctor's like, this will really help like reset your insulin resistance, blah, 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 all this stuff. I was like, okay, yeah. Ask her about all the side effects. She's like, some people have had like minor nausea, maybe a little bit of stomach cramping, but it only lasts for about a week and then they're fine. And I'm like, oh, well, I had HG with all 3 of my pregnancies, which is like violent vomiting for 10 months. I can handle some morning sickness. Mm-hmm. So she gives me the shot. And day 1, I'm like, I think I'm okay. I felt a little bit nauseated. By day 2, I have explosive water diarrhea. Like, I'm afraid to walk around my house, let alone leave it. Whatever came in directly went out. So then I have these like sulfur burps. So I'm like afraid to talk to people because it tastes and smells like rotted eggs are coming from my body. So I'm like thinking, is this the shot? Am I dying? What's happening? So I call her and she's like, oh yeah, that's really uncommon. And she's like, well, maybe. And I was like, I'm like passing out. I'm so dehydrated. My body is not absorbing anything that I am and trying to ingest. After 3 days of this, she finally calls me back. She's like, well, we can come you in and like put you on an IV liquid or something. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to need some IVs. Like, I think that at this point I'm now like, I have no liquid left in my body to projectile out of my bum. So I start looking up and researching this. 30% of women in clinical trials had the same reaction I did.
Oh, hell no.
And the worst part is they give you a shot and it lasts for a week. So it's not like a pill you can be like, negative reaction, stop taking. Yeah. No, I just had to shit through the week.
Oh.
And then she's like, so did you want those? Because you buy a month of it at a time and then you have to give yourself these shots. But she was like, this is going to heal your pancreas. This is going to get rid of your gluten intolerance. No, it just made me shit my pants for a week. So I'm like, this is why people lose 20 pounds in a month.
Yes, it is. Because that's apparently all it does is come in and go right back out. Hello and goodbye. The same.
So as you're telling your colonic story, I was like, I had an accidental one.
Yep. That was an accidental colonic experience.
There was nothing spiritual about it. Nothing.
Nope. There was nothing spiritual about mine either. I definitely felt like a new human from like there's definitely nothing in my belly and I'm definitely not bloated, but also I don't ever want to do this again on purpose. That was my solution. I'm like, I'm good. Whoever thinks it's a spiritual journey, bless your heart. Good for you. That was my epic self-care fail. So do you have a self-care? Because we want to talk about our event, but I want you to be able to talk about your self-care mess.
So my self-care fail was, it was, well, I think I got onto spa experience because you were on spa experience, but I fell 18 feet off of a roof and landed on my back when I was 29.
Ooh.
And so I have like back issues. And usually I have all of these things that I'm like, okay, if I stretch and I stay off of food that is inflammatory and, you know, I keep my back healthy, I usually don't have any problems. Well, I was starting to feel, because I was major stressed out. So I was like, I'm going to go get a massage. So I tell the lady, like, these are what I'm struggling with, and this is what the issue is. She's like, okay. She's like, so we're going to need to do a lot of glute work then, because usually lower back problem is hip and glute problem. It's not usually lower back problem.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, okay, I get that. So she works on my back and gets it loosened, and then works on my thighs and gets it loosened. Well, I have really, really ticklish thighs.
Okay.
And so although she was not doing anything inappropriate in any way, shape, or form, like I am just giggling the whole time she's working on the back of my thighs. And then she's like, so I guess you're really ticklish. And I was like, yeah, it's okay. And I'm like, just try and use a little bit more pressure and then it won't tickle so much. And she's like, okay. And then I was like, too much pressure because it hurt. So I'm like tapping out. So then she's like, okay, we're going to start working on your glutes. And I had to fart so bad.
Oh no, man.
So I'm like trying to hold it in as she's working. And she's like, you need to relax your glute muscles. And I was finally like, I have to fart. And I'm afraid that if I relax my glute muscles, and she's like, oh, it happens all the time. And she's like, I was like, okay, we'll just like step away for a minute. So I'm not like farting in your face.
Take a step back, just protect yourself.
So I like calm down and then it goes away. Like I don't even end up farting. So then we're laughing about that as she's like got her elbow in my glute and we're getting that all. And so we get done. And this is the fail part. That wasn't even the fail part. So she's like, okay, go ahead and roll over. And as I'm rolling, I tweak my back. And I'm like, I can't move.
No, are you serious?
She's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I don't know, something's pinching. Like, I can't breathe. Like, it hurts so bad. So she's feeling bad because she's like supposed to be helping me. And I'm now like stuck naked. And she's like still got the sheet that she's like holding up so she can't see me roll. And she's like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm like, I am stuck. I don't know.
Oh no.
So she like lays the sheet back on me and we're like trying to roll me over. And then the sheet's like getting stuck in places because I'm rolling in it. And then she's trying to like pull the sheet up without like completely exposing me. And then now my back. And so she puts the little like thing under my knees and she's like, does that relieve any of the pressure? And I was like, yeah, fine. It's like gripping. So she goes and gets like another massage therapist who does reflexology.
Okay.
She's like, I'm going to have her work on your nervous system and see if we can get your back to calm down. So she comes in and we were able to like get it subsided or whatever. So they ended up giving me the massage for free because the girl felt so bad that she like put me into spasm.
Oh no. Oh my God. That is a self-care fail.
So the whole thing was just, I'm trying to do preventative. I'm trying to take care of my body. And
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Now I'm stuck naked, wrapped up in a sheet with some stranger.
Yep. My follow-up story to that, and then we will talk about the event. But so you reminded me. So the first thing I ever had an experience with a chiropractor was I was in my late 30s, gonna go hiking in Zion. and I got a hitch in my get up for something, a nerve in my ass. I don't know. My right butt cheek had something, and I was like, I can't go and function and hike and whatever. So I'd never been to a chiropractor in my life. Everybody that I just was not exposed to people that ever used it as a service. And so I was like, I didn't know what to expect. So we have one down the hallway of our private practice. And the guy was always back and forth. We were cracking jokes, he's like our neighborly business owner. Right. Mm-hmm. So I go to my two women business owners and I go, you guys, I go, can I ask you a question? They're like, yeah. I go, do I have to get naked? Okay. They're like, no. I go, I am not getting naked in front of Jesse. We see him. They're like, Jen, no, clothes on, girlfriend, like clothes on. So I have no idea what to expect. Right. So they're laughing already. So I go to this experience. It's super helpful. Jesse saved my life, literally, like saved my ass. Like I was able to go hike. Like it was so helpful. So it was a really good experience overall. However, there is one day so I want to share do I have to go naked part because there's a follow-up. So we do a session. And of course, if you've ever been a chiropractor, they're like lifting your knee up while you're on your back and they're shifting you around and they're making sure that you're getting these, spinal adjustments. Okay.
Which is why naked is definitely out.
Right. Which is where you definitely want to have clothes on. In case you were curious, you keep your clothes on at the chiropractor. Okay. So I'm there doing the thing and get home, go to get undressed for the day. There's a hole in the crotch of my pants. There is a hole in the crotch of my pants. And here I was worried about Jesse seeing my naked body. And I just did a chiropractic adjustment with a hole in the crotch of my pants. I was like, oh my God, you just hit my face. Oh, I was like, okay. Jesse, next time I see him, it's okay. I'm going to make eye contact. I'll act like nothing happened. Oh my God, I was so humiliated. Okay, anyway, so that was my other self-care whoopsie, but it was a great follow-up with your story. You're all welcome. Okay.
So this is short. The first chiropractor appointment I ever went to, it was like this, come see what chiropractor is. And it was during the summertime and I had open-toed shoes on, but I had cut one of my toes. So I had a Band-Aid on my toe and then I painted it like it had a toenail on it. So you couldn't tell that I had a cut toe and a Band-Aid on my toe, right? So the guy pops my legs. He even popped my jaw. He popped everything that could be popped. And then he starts pulling my toes and he gets the one with the Band-Aid on and he pulls the Band-Aid off and he starts freaking out because he thought he pulled off my toe.
Oh my God. He's like, shit, that's a first to pull someone's toe off today.
He was dying.
Oh my God, that is so good. I'm crying. Oh, okay. See, this is why we ask these questions because this led to hella good stories. Okay. Oh, all right. So I'm going to rein us back around and rein us in so that we can give you guys an opportunity to know that we are hosting something called the Redefining Midlife Mastery Course. Laurel and I both speak 2 times during the event. And so I'll be talking on midlife revolution, what that means, sharing a brand new framework that I've created, and also purpose. And then Laurel's going to be coming in about money mindset in general. I think she's always we both speak to that all the time, but I think that mindset one's going to be really powerful. And then she's going to come in and talk about intimacy, sensuality, desire, all those things next week. Really, really powerful conversations. We have covered all of the layers of midlife, which is what I teach. So really, really intentional. So whoever said you needed us in your life today, trust me, I'm so glad you're here with us. And we also needed this. This was exactly what I needed today. I knew we were going to nail it and we did. So thank you for staying with us. I really appreciated it. So the Redefining Midlife Mastery course, again, attending to the layers, it's intentionally designed so that you're coming in and you're starting with things that are probably a little easier to chat about, digest. And as we go on through the weeks, it gets a little more like, oh, I'm going to have to kind of dig a little bit. This might make me a little uncomfortable a little bit. But all the different layers of you kind of being addressed. And so if you're still interested, you can sign up. It is actually a 10-day journey. It's 5 days and 5 days, 2 weeks. This week is the first week. The next week is the second and last week. After that, you have 10 days of replays. So even if you're coming in late, you're like, well, wait, I missed content. No, you didn't, because everything is video format. The content that you get each day, you can still receive those anytime you start with us. You can get those links, watch those videos, and catch up if you like, or you've got 10 days to continue to take information in. And then on Fridays, the cool thing is we have live panels. So tomorrow we will be going live Zoom, 12 p.m. Central Standard. So either lunch for most of us in the US, and for the UK friends that are participating, it's about 6 o'clock in the evening. So it was intentionally timed so that they were not doing it at midnight.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. 2 o'clock in the morning. That sounds like a really good time. So we will be coming in. We are talking about things like style, fitness, and wellness. We are talking about hormones, so menopause and hormones. We've got money mindset. The next week, we've got wealth and attending to your wealth in midlife. We've got business and having a different relationship with business in your midlife. We have got Alyssa Adams, who's going to be talking about human design and decision-making in midlife. And then we've got Laurel and intimacy, and myself bringing up the rear with purpose. Woo-hoo. So that's kind of the layout. There's a lot of beautiful content in this. And so I'm going to speak to that, and then I'm going to give Laurel a chance to take the floor as well and add anything that I've missed, because I'm probably missing something. It's $79 is the investment. And so again, like, you'll have time to play those videos, sit with the content. Everyone provided. Thank you for adding in the link. Laurel's the best ever. So there's the link. So you can go, still sign up, and you're not missing anything. And still, you're going to be able to participate in both of those panels. Mm-hmm. We have a free Facebook community. We can go in, ask questions, connect with other women that are doing the journey with you. That's all available still. So what I think is important to think about is, for example, I'm hosting a workshop mid-April. That's all going to be about a toolbox for navigating the midlife layers. And that's some of that I'm taught about already on Monday. In my video. So we'll be coming up and following up with a really beautiful toolbox. And so the women that attend this event get that for free. The rest of y'all can pay $29.97 for the privilege of being there. So if you want to come to just that workshop, you can come. My point being, if that's $30 and you can spend $50 more, and you're going to get it for free, and you're going to get a bunch of other free gifts and all of this wisdom from these other women, I do just recommend it. It is literally such a low price point to get all the content that's being provided. And the women in it are brilliant. They're handpicked by me. They are all women that I know, trust, and respect, and honor what they do for a living and how they are passionate about what they do. They're showing up to give you guys all their love. So I do strongly recommend still signing up, which I know sounds weird. So it's like, you're almost halfway through, but you still got time to get those panels in. And we're going to record those as well. Even if you can't be there, if you want to drop us questions for the experts, we will be addressing those in those panels, and you will still get that recording. So everything is still going to be accessible to you if you want to come and join us. I do recommend even still going and signing up. Laurel, what can you add? That was my...
So this is because I know a lot, like, they know me, they know you, they know what we teach, but Jen specifically asked people who don't teach what we teach. So like there's another girl that's going to be talking about money, but she's actually talking about financing.
Yes.
And like the investing part of money, where mine is more money mindset, the energetics of money. Hers is the logistics of money.
Yes.
And so that is something that with Anita, it's not just dress your truth, Carol Tuttle stuff. It's here's how you actually put that into practice. Like it's right. And because that was the other question that I've had a lot of people ask is this just a 10-day commercial? No, none of us are selling anything. We're just giving you content. No.
And when Laurel and I were talking about creating this event, I'm like, literally one of the things I said as a guideline for every woman, do not get in here and sell for the next 45 minutes. I'm sorry. Yep. That is the grossest experience, to have someone feel like they're vomiting at you, their ad for 45 minutes. Yeah. They are going to bring you value. And what I recommend is you get that value, and then you go, oh, you know what? I'm still left wondering about this, this, and this. Tag us in the Facebook community. Let us know. Show up to that live panel. That is a space where we can go deeper with your questions and more specificity, which is why you want to get in and harness those panel talks, because I think that is a brilliant spot to come in and go, I love what you had to say, and now I want to learn more about X, Y, and Z.
And even if you can't be on the live panel, still add your question so that we can answer it.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise, if no one asks questions, you get an hour of me and Jen and 5 other people doing that.
Exactly. So, I mean,
which you'll probably get anyway.
Exactly. But I think that what I would say to you is, it's really, we wanted to leave that opportunity. We designed this flexibly. The reason we did not do all live interaction with the women, even though I love, all of us do, actually, all of the presenters that presented in video love live interaction. Problem was we had people out of the UK and we had people here. And I was like, if we have any tech problems, those people are stuck and they can't present. Mm-hmm. So let's record it. And then midlife women who are busy can pick and choose the time when it works for them. You want to do it over lunch? Great. You want to take it as a podcast in the car, getting the kids? Great. You want to sit and watch it right away in the morning when it comes to your email box? Great. That's whatever you need and want. You want to catch it at 11 o'clock because that's when you finally got a breath of fresh air? Cool. We did that on purpose, but we wanted you to have access to the panelists. The speakers are the expert level is so high. I don't know that anyone that's in there has been practicing for less than 15 years.
Correct.
I don't think so. I think every single woman in there has been practicing 15 years or longer in their area of expertise.
Yep.
So it is really like, please, Jesus, use this time. Like, this is such a good resource. It is such a good opportunity. Do not miss out on this. I know I had some people that were like, I'm going on vacation. I wish I was going to be there. I'm like, bro, buy it. Get the replay. Do it when you get home. Like, I'm telling you, I don't know if we'll do it again. And I don't know if we'll do it in the same exact format again. I'm not saying that to be silly or like ambiguous or to trick you into doing this.
Yeah, it's not a false sales pitch. We just really don't know.
Nope, I don't know right now how that will look. So we may do it again. We might not. It might be the same people. It might look different. I don't know that right now. If you want it in the format that it is taking, I tell people if I host something or Laurel does, I would always get on the horn. Mm-hmm. It might happen again. It might never happen again the same way twice. So I would that's not a game. Laurel and I don't play that. Both of us, and I think this is one of those transparency things. I had a sales call with a woman yesterday about what I do in coaching. I was like, here's what I do. This is how it works. Here's the cost. I would love to work with you, but cool. Go do your conversation, figure out if this works. And if it doesn't, that's cool. Namaste. Next time we get together, I'm going to give you some tools to walk away with. She was like, really? Yeah, really. Cause like, I'm here to serve. So yeah, that's how I roll. And this is what we offer. And this is what it costs. And I'm not playing games. And at this stage of life, one of my biggest frustrations in midlife, and this is one of my questions, what are you most tired of? Freaking charlatans and bullshitters. And I just have no space for that. And I'm about customer service. And so to me, you are having a relationship with me the minute that we get on a call, the minute we start developing a relationship. And I know Laurel's the same way. So to me, I'm going to offer you exactly what it is. And I'm going to speak the truth of it. And I'm not going to hard sell shit. I'm too old for that. You either are in it or you're not in it. And bless it. Namaste. I'm not attached to that, which took me a lifelong whole energy to configure. And so I just want to say that I think that both Laurel and I come from that space. We are just really passionate because we know that this is a brilliant event. We would love for you to take place and do it with us. We had some late starters. We've got some people still filtering in. You are welcome to still come join this and harness the energy of these experts. And I swear you will find something that is going to be a takeaway that you will not have had before you started this journey. If you added it all together, you will start to begin to develop that deep revolution in your midlife. Because all of us, I'm like, if I wasn't attending this thing and giving it, I would go to it. If I saw someone else, I mean, legitimately. So I just want to throw it out there. Is there any other final thoughts, Laurel? I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew it was still out there. It's still accessible. We would love to have you, but any other finishing thoughts or suggestions for everybody?
No, just when you said this, one of my questions was, what's the thing in midlife that you wish you'd have given up on sooner? And for me, it was caring so much about like being the people pleaser who makes sure that people are happy with me, that I'm going to chase and I'm going to, nope, this is who I am. This is what I offer. I only offer quality at this point because time is my most valuable resource right now. So because I value my time so much, I'm not going to waste someone else's.
Nope. Time and energy is huge, right? They're midlife resources that I speak to all the time. And to me, that's what I think we're getting at is we value your time. We wanted you to have flexibility. We understand it is not a high price point. So that is accessible to as many women as possible. We want you to make that investment in yourself. You're not investing in us. You're investing in you. And I'm with Laurel. It's like, I see my worthiness. I know my work stands alone. So it's either something that you're here for, or you're not. And I take no personal account for that whatsoever. It's like, cool. It's either a fit for you or it isn't. So we just want you to know that you're welcome. If you're ready to kind of start taking a different journey and having a different experience and relationship with your midlife, it doesn't have to be a crisis. To me, creating a midlife awakening is a huge shift from the place that we've all been conditioned. And I just think that's bullshit. And I will call it out. And that's one of the things that's kind of my personality trait is like, I will call that out. I want us to have a different relationship. I want every single woman to be empowered to know her place, her strength, her talents, her purpose, so that you're creating a legacy in the world. That's my legacy. My legacy is helping you live yours. So to me, that's what all of these women are bringing. They want to impart their gifts, their wisdom, and their insight to you to stack up and create this beautifully delicious layered cake of wisdom and insight that you can take with you moving forward, creating a different relationship in midlife. So if you're interested, that link is in there. Otherwise, it's laughinglotuswellness.com/midlife. Still open, still rolling. I'm telling you, tomorrow we're going to come on live noon. I'm super excited to be with my ladies again in person doing our Zoom, inviting your questions. You can pop in that Facebook community anytime and leave your questions there. And you can ask questions in the comments here as well, wherever you're listening to us. Feel free to do that as well. But Laurel, thanks so much for being here today. I love you so hard. Stories. I knew it. I'm like, I'm here for it. This is going to make my entire day. And sure enough, it did. And it so warmed me up for my podcast recording, which is going to happen this afternoon. I'm like, yes. So much love to you. And I'm so grateful to have you as my business sister and soul friend. Like, you are just a beautiful light in this world. If you haven't checked her out, go find her, follow her, check out Laurel's work. She's absolutely incredible at what she does. So we will be back around, my friends. You will not be rid of Laurel and I. We will be circling back, of course, and I will probably sometimes be in her community as well. You will get to know both of us with time. We just welcome you to join that event if that fits for you, and are so grateful for your time today. So thanks, everybody. Take care. Blessings, love, and light, and we will see you next time.
Love you.
Take care, everybody.